this field?
Keep sucking me back in. So I actually got my degree in engineering as a mechanical engineer, worked at Apple and Google and a couple other places back in the early 2000s. I've been doing stuff with pediatrics and primary care probably now for about 20 years. And I really got into it because both of my parents are pediatricians. And so I kind of grew up with it around the dinner time conversation, everything from the interesting conversations to the challenges that were being faced every day, probably from the late 70s through the 80s, the transition to managed care. And it just seemed like there was a lot of stuff that needed to happen and a lot of work that needed to do. And, healthcare has been traditionally very slow to act when it comes to adopting technologies. So that's kind of how I got sucked back in. I really was chasing my childhood dream to become a firefighter and a paramedic out there. But at the end, I actually found myself working in pediatrics.